gram. Now, no, generally we will know that the animal fats are the saturated one. Okay, that's why we are saying the animal fats are not so good for the health. Okay. As for the vegetable oil, for example the olive oil, the sunflower oil, they are better one because they are more double bond inside. They are the unsaturated fats. Okay, so I have summarized for you the saturated fat and the unsaturated fat, the differences and the similarity between them. So you can just memorize it and write down in your notebook. Yeah. Okay. Now for the waxes, remember we have 5 types of lipids. Okay, the 2 fats and oils. The another 3 will be the wax, phospholipid, and also the steroid. So we see what is waxes first. Okay, so waxes, they are similar to the triglyceride. But how? Now you see the fatty acid, instead of bonding to the glycerol, they bond to the alcohol. Means they are changing the rectangle that we see just now. Okay, the rectangle one, the glycerol part, they change it and they bond it with alcohol. So normally they are very hard or they are solid at room temperature. So waxes, the example of waxes that you can think of is the one on the leaf surface. Okay, the one that protect or give the leaves a waterproof properties. Okay, waxes are used to waterproof. Yeah, see, you can read here. Yeah. Okay, the second one, the cuticle of the leaf. Yeah. So another place where you can see the waxes on the insects. Okay, they are the protective coat or the protective covering on the insect's body. Insects such as the grasshopper, the cockroaches, and so on. Okay, and also wax are the constituent of the honeycomb of the bee. So the bees also have these waxes that build their house, their home. Okay. So next, phospholipid. So the difference in waxes is the glycerol. They remove the glycerol, they substitute it with alcohol, a long chain of alcohol. That's the difference. But still, since they have 3 fatty acids and 1 group of alcohol there, so they are still called the lipids. As for phospholipid, they are still under the group of lipids due to, yes, they remain everything. They remain the glycerol, they remain the fatty acid. We have 3 fatty acid, right? Okay, so 2 fatty acid is remain, another one is substitute. They substitute with phosphate. This one you have learned in chapter 2. Okay, phospholipid which made your plasma membrane. Okay, remember plasma membrane, you have the phospholipid bilayer. Okay, phospholipid bilayer, and then when we draw the tail, we have 2 long tail and then 1 head. Okay, so the 2 long tail is actually fatty acid, which is hydrophobic. Okay, hydrophobic. Okay, the end of the phospholipid contain the phosphate, which is hydrophilic. So the one which contain phosphate with the alcohol, with the glycerol, will be the hydrophilic. The tail will be the hydrophobic. Okay, see next one. So I think I have a pictures over here. Yeah, this one is in your cell membrane. You just read up. Okay, so it control the permeability of the membrane. Okay, now see, so we have this glycerol. Okay, this blood, this glycerol, then fatty acid. Suppose this one should be the fatty acid, but now it's replaced by the phosphate group. So from here it will repel or rearrange themselves into this form. You can see one, the polar head, and then the non-polar tail, which made of the fatty acid. Okay, the glycerol is over here. It turns itself lah. Okay, actually molecule is just they move up, they can move. Okay, to suit their property. So the last one, which is the steroid. Okay, steroid is a bit different. Okay, instead later we see how the structure. Okay, so first thing we know what is steroid. A steroid is a molecule that have complex ring structure. So ring, yeah. Okay, instead of long chain just now, they change into a ring structure. So steroid can be found in plant and animals. So example of steroids are cholesterol, testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. These are the hormones. So steroids are actually hormones. And sometimes if you have read up somewhere, so steroid is actually the secondary sex hormone which gives some strength for the person who use that as a drug. Okay, so you see the function for the cholesterol, testosterone, and then progesterone and the estrogen. So this one we will see again when we learn the hormone. Okay, just to know, steroid are hormone. Okay, our hormones are made of steroid. So where can you get the cholesterol? Okay, now we see. Wait, not to get. Okay, we see what is the cholesterol inside the egg. How is it look like? Okay, so if you see, this is the structure of the cholesterol. Compared to this, okay, still have the glycerol here, but instead of the fatty acid here, we change it into the ring, 1 2 3 4. Okay, the 4 ring here. Okay, it makes it cholesterol. Okay, as for steroid, the same. Okay, they also change this into ring. So when you have your fatty acid in a ring form, we call them the steroid. So steroid is to make hormone. Okay, so we will continue with 4.5 after this. So stop first.